Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be my vlog for the Trans Rights Readathon starting on the 22nd of March and going to the 29th. And here is Friday morning. So it's Friday morning. You might be able to hear the chicken crowing outside. It's not our chicken, it's the neighbor's chicken. They are very free range in that they come over to our house and eat our bugs, which actually I appreciate because they eat ticks and I hate ticks with my whole soul. So I appreciate them getting rid of them. Right now I am wasting time before I eat breakfast because I just took my antacid, my long-lasting one, and according to the gastroenterologist I saw a while ago, you're supposed to take those half an hour before eating rather than just in the morning and at night. So now I have to wait before I can eat breakfast. So we begin the process of brushing my hair, which really doesn't take that long. It takes maybe 5 minutes because my hair detangles easily because it has no texture. It is as flat as anything. Like, some people who have straight hair will like straighten their hair with an iron to get a little bit more length. I don't think mine would get any longer if I straightened it. There's nothing there. Because of this, it's very hard to maintain an updo because my hair will just slip out. So the first book I'm going to be reading will be, actually it's part of the stack of books that I have the camera on, but it's Man of War. That's the first physical book. For audiobook, I have lined up The Spirit Bears Its Teeth by Andrew Joseph White, who is autistic as well as trans. And then for an ebook, I am on KU right now. So there's a KU book that I was reading back in the fall that is by a trans author and is about a trans character, non-binary character, I think. And I'm going to continue reading that, and it's The Fox and the Dryad, I think. And probably also, before I get breakfast to waste more time, I'm going to demold the dice that I just made. I've gotten some resin molds for dice and started making those, and they're not perfect. So this is the second of my main trial runs, trying to figure out how to use them so they don't have bubbles. I was gonna have my glasses off for this, but it's real bright. So I read for a couple hours this morning after breakfast, and now it's time for lunch with my mom. We come to DQ. You might be able to tell that's DQ in the background. Pretty much once a week. It's good food. We always get the same thing. My whole immediate family, we get the chicken strip basket for $7. $7 meal deal. It comes with an ice cream. It's pretty great. Not sponsored. But after this I'm gonna head to the library and I'll show you what I get there, and then when I get home I'm probably going to play some music and write a little bit, because I've started doing that again because I had a dream that was very inspiring, gave me a whole new idea for a story that for some reason isn't making me anxious like all my other writing seems to make me anxious. So see you in a bit. So at the library I picked up Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. I heard about this one on TikTok, and it just looks kind of fun. So I decided to get it. I probably won't read it till next month because the rest of this month will be taken up with this readathon. So it is about 15 after 5 in the evening, and I'm feeling a little sad now because I found out that an online friend, is in some difficulty with a combination of money and family problems. I'm just upset on her behalf. But I wanted to update you about what I'm reading. I have started the audiobook of The Spirit Bears Its Teeth. And I hadn't looked too much into what this was about. I knew it was about another trans man character, that it was probably going to be about the same amount of darkness as the author's previous work, which was Hell Followed With Us. I didn't know that it was specifically going to be about how a lot of neurodivergent, mentally ill, or disabled, or trans, or queer women and other, what's it called, misogyny affected people were sent to asylums when they didn't behave as society approved of, specifically as their family approved of, because generally you could get away with a lot if your family was understanding and basically took care of you or protected you. I did know, of course, that the author is autistic and would be writing another autistic character, but I didn't know that it would be something that's so close to me, and that is the history of my people, because I'm cis and he's trans, so we're different, but we are also quite similar in being misogyny affected people with autism. And so I have always felt really strongly when I learned about the history of these people sent to asylums and mistreated there and gotten rid of there. This is going to be more personally heavy and dark than I was necessarily expecting. But yeah, the intersection between disability and marginalized genders is something that I am very passionate about and also very upset about. I'm glad this book has been written and is looking into that. Someone being a badass in response to that. Andrew Joseph White, though he does write some dark stuff, thus far he writes pretty good guys are victorious in the end stuff, and I suspect that that is what will happen in this book as well, based on kind of the description and the things I've heard. So I'm gonna go make one of my 7-minute dinners now, and probably read more of The Fox and the Dryad. I love it when I film a lot the first day of a vlog and then I don't film at all for 3 days. So basically I've just been busy the last 3 days. I did do some reading. I read a little bit more of The Spirit Bares Its Teeth, and I finished The Fox and the Dryad. And I also just filmed a TikTok review of The Fox and the Dryad. And also this morning I did my subtitles for my trans recommendations. So The Fox and the Dryad is about a Fae Lord who, he's not like super high up in the Fae, he's just like has a fancy house and is kind of rich. He runs away from his mother because she is abusive and toxic and has been forcing him and all his siblings to perform for her with their various talents. He specifically is a dancer. There's also a cook, a painter, I think a singer, all sorts, 10 siblings. So he runs away. Then his mother comes up with a human to replace him at her little fetes, where she shows off the people she controls talents. And he gets interested in this person who is gender nonconforming, uses he, them pronouns. Both these main characters are ballet dancers. Our Fae, Mal, finds Briar, the human character, in the real world and starts trying to get close to them, and is just really interested and tries to figure out how to help them get out of the Fae deal that he made with Mal's mother, because clearly it's really wearing on Briar. And it's really slow in the first half. It really doesn't kick up until the second half. The first half is pretty repetitive of Briar going to dance, suffering because he's forced to dance way too much and abuses his body. Him and Mal kind of dancing around each other figuratively, and so things kick up a lot more in the second half. This is a 440-page book, so it took a lot to get through that first 220 pages, but the ending really saved it. Like the last 100 pages I really enjoyed. It was much faster paced, and I just really enjoyed the stuff that happened in that section, so I ended up giving it 4 stars rather than 3 stars. And this author is Trans Mask. Also, it's an indie book. All of this author's books are indie published. And this one is available on KU, and I think several of the others are also available on KU.
Pippin is very tired. It is just exhausting being a cat. Yeah. Can I have a little pet? Oh, yeah. So soft. Pippin is my softest cat. He's the most plush. He's a good boy. Yeah. So it's Thursday now, and Sunday I went to my local indie bookstore, Adventures Underground, and I did a little come shopping with me for TikTok, and I also bought 3 books, trans books, because of the Trans Rights Readathon. So the one that I haven't read yet is The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes, who uses they them pronouns. I've been wanting to read this for quite a while, and now that it's available in paperback, I was extra excited to actually own it. Hopefully now I will actually read it. Then I bought 2 that I've already read, and that were available in paperback form because I love paperbacks. Iron Widow by Ziran J. Zhao, who is non-binary, and the paperback, they've talked about how cool it is to have the shiny on this character's armor. I love this cover. It's like a firebird, and that's just amazing. Love firebirds. And also she looks badass. And then lastly, Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, who is autistic and a trans man. And it is about a trans man, or a trans boy. He's a teenager. And it also has shiny bits. And it's generally a very cool looking cover. Creepy, but also awesome. And I don't usually like creepy things. And I really also like the cover of The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, which is a very similar style. I would expect done by the same artist. And also I saw someone else paint the edges of this book, and I'm kind of like, I want to paint those edges. Hello there, it is Friday, the last day of the Trans Rights Readathon. I need to do reviews of 2 books, so I finished reading The Spirit Bears Its Teeth by Andrew Joseph White. And while I do these reviews, I'm going to go online and find the place where I'm donating and do that. It probably won't be possible to be counted for the Trans Rights Readathon by the time this video is out, but you can still donate to the same organization if you would like to. If you can hear a voice in the background, which you probably can't, I also have Mercury Stardust and Company's live stream playing. I'll try to find the names of the other people involved, and that is going, I think, from now until midnight. So I'm going to have that on as much as I can today to make it look more popular in TikTok, so that it will get pushed to more people. So, Spirit Bears Its Teeth. I think it pulled it off excellently. I loved how much love there was for different varieties of misogyny affected people, for cis women, for trans women, for trans men. In this book, it was just really sweet, and it was dark and upsetting, but it was also beautiful. I think it did just such an excellent job, and I gave it 5 stars. I think Andrew Joseph White is going to be an auto-buy author, because I was even more impressed with this one than I was with Hell Followed With Us. But I also really thought
how Follow With Us was excellently done. So I'm giving $50 to the Southern Trans Youth Emergency Fund that is part of the Campaign for Southern Equality. On its website it says 90% of transgender youth in the South now live in a state where a ban on gender-affirming care has passed. In response, the Campaign for Southern Equality has launched the Southern Trans Youth Emergency Project, a regional effort which provides rapid response support directly to the families of youth who are impacted by anti-transgender healthcare bans in the South. Through this organization, in close partnership with state and local organizations, we are providing grants, patient navigation support, and accurate information to impacted families to ensure that youth can access the care they need and deserve even in the face of oppressive laws. We have developed a regional referral network of providers in access states and are helping as many families as we can through this time of crisis. I decided on $50 because that's how much I spent on books this week. I don't usually spend that much on books in a week, but I figured if I can shell out for that, I can shell out for this. I haven't had a job in 3 months, which is a little discouraging, but I do have one coming up in April that will be a fair amount of, that will be for like 2.5 weeks. Which is longer than my usual jobs last, so I should be getting a little influx of cash soon, so I will pay back my savings with that, and hopefully I will remember that I shelled out from my savings and will not think that, oh, I got this much money, now I can spend this much money. So that's what up. I will post a receipt somewhere on the screen. So the other book I finished was Keep Me Close by R.M. Virtues. This is an indie author who is black and trans. Want to see my cool wallet? It's really old now because Breath of the Wild came out quite a long time ago now, but still hanging in there. This book is the second in the series. I read the first book quite a while ago and really enjoyed it. This is set in a world where people named after various Greek gods are in control of various sectors of a city. They also have various characteristics of the Greek gods. Not all of the characteristics, because then it would be very hard to write. But yeah, this one's about Aphrodite and Hephaestus, and I really was excited about this one because Hephaestus is disabled, and I think that was handled well. I don't know how accurate the specific representation is because it's not my disability, but I think it was handled really respectfully, and I ended up really liking the romance. There's a few tropes. It's irritants to lovers and bodyguard romance, and there are some kinks involved, specifically daddy kink, which is so far into the not what I like area. So I pretty much skipped most of the sex scenes. The most emotional sex scenes were the first few, so I enjoyed those ones a bit more. I really love how in these books a lot of the people are surrounded by platonic relationships that are really strong and they really love each other. So I like seeing the main like romantic relationship be just surrounded by a lot of really great platonic relationships, and there to be a fair amount of focus on that. So I enjoyed that a lot. There were times where Aphrodite was really irritating because she was so naive and trusting. Don't learn from their mistakes. It's really annoying. But in the end, I give it 4 stars. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some recommendations that you might enjoy reading. I'm gonna go continue to listen to the live stream, which gives money to Point of Pride. Let me just look that up. Point of Pride provides financial aid and direct support to trans folks in need of health and wellness care. They have a surgery fund, a HRT access fund, electrolysis, chest binders, femme shapewear, and it looks like they have various blog posts showing talking about where the money they are given goes, so I will link that below as well. I encourage donating, but also sharing, and just raising awareness for these organizations is helpful. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! I also have to go bake bread because Sunday is Easter.